All right, now we are now live. Welcome to another episode of Miracle Mindset for Men, episode 21. I am your host, Heyru Dre, aka Handsome Heyru, aka Dre. Today I have a very special guest this evening. I want to welcome my good brother, 9SilkVibrations. I can't say his name right. He gonna have to say it for me, but you
Uh,
know how you say it?
oh, it's our chop.
Chalk. That's
Yes,
right. I
sir.
chalk. So tonight we're going to be talking about um, aligning with your purpose. I reached out to this brother the other day because he had made a reel on Instagram, and he was talking about aligning with your purpose and like being paid for it. And I thought it was interesting because I remember a few months ago, episode 9, I believe, I made a video about purpose, and the purpose was about finding what it is that you are destined to do, and not something that you want to do for self, but something that you have to do for the collective. So I want you to go ahead and introduce the people, introduce yourself to the people, let them know who you are, what you about.
For sure. Yeah, I'm a Chak Adehi. I'm a crystal alchemist, a conduit of crystal consciousness, and I'm the creator and founder of 9SilkVibrations and the creator of the Crown Protection Hats. And really, just the whole purpose behind my business is to share crystal consciousness and create technology that can help just bring harmony, protect our energetic fields, and focus our energy.
Cool. I'm at the order one of them hats off for you. I like the crystals. I got a couple of them. I got a couple of crystals, but I need a hat. I like hats, so
Yeah,
we we talk about that off camera. But so tonight episode is aligning with the purpose. Okay, so um, a lot of us have purpose, of course. Some of us have a smaller purpose. Others have a larger purpose, and some people don't know what their purpose is, and some people want to know what their purpose is, and some people know what their purpose is, but they run away from it. I'm a prime example of that. I remember, well, I always knew or I had an idea what my purpose was, but I kept trying to stray away from it because that's not something that I wanted to do. So it seemed like the more you run away from something, the more it keeps coming for you. And I finally come to accept what my purpose was last year, um, when at the Gathering of the Masters, and that's what we had met at, was at the Gathering of the Masters and stuff. Because you from Detroit too, just like me, right? Yeah. So it was cool linking up, meeting a lot of different people who was on the same trajectory and the same frequency and stuff. And it was like a good family reunion, it's good times and good vibes and stuff like that. But when it comes to the purpose, it's a thing that we're like, we want to choose our own purpose, but a lot of us don't know that our purpose is already encoded in our DNA once we incarnate here. And
true.
it's up to us to find out what the purpose is. And when we find out what that purpose is, we have to live in it. You know what I'm saying? So you talked about aligning with the purpose, like for your job. Can you expound on that when you were talking about in the real?
Yeah. So basically, I would say that really, it starts with like, well, basically, the purpose of the video was really just telling people that that we all got to work to get money. It's the matrix. We all understand that, but you don't want to just be working and wasting your energy, putting it, your time, energy, and effort into something that you're not truly passionate about, and that's truly not your purpose. So I really just wanted to help shift people's focus from just working to really figuring out like and being proactive on trying to like really just grasp the idea of what your purpose is so you can figure out what you really need to do to make money, but to do what you love, do what you came here for, and love what you do.
Okay, cool. So, um, how did you find out what your purpose was, or do you know what your purpose is?
Yes. Honestly, I feel like when it comes to our purpose, everybody, it is a faceted thing. So it's got different angles, different sides. It's not just a one purpose fits all, or just everybody has one purpose. I feel like we are here to do more than one thing. Some people might just be one thing, and some people it may be many things. But the way I fell into my purpose and really just aligned with my purpose was from really just going on my own journey of self discovery, and just like the spiritual journey in itself. And like it really just was revealed to me over time from me just really doing the work that we all got to do when it comes to like your shadow work, your inner child healing, and really just proper management, and just really purifying like all aspects, facets of yourself when it comes to the emotional, physical, mental, and the spiritual side. So really, just from like attacking all sides, all of them sides of me, and really, I wouldn't say attacking, but more so digging deep, and really just trying to like clean up and purify and refine these facets of myself. I was able to like be guided to my purpose.
Cool. So, how long have you been on your spiritual journey? Like, how did that start for you?
Man, it was probably like it's been probably like 8 years, about 8 years now,
Damn. Okay.
and it started with the the late death of my grandmother, my granny, man, and basically it was that was probably like one of the toughest deaths I experienced. So when you experience a hard death, it hits everybody differently, and we all react to those situations differently. So for me, it kind of just thwarted me into my spiritual journey, just from like just going through the feelings of everybody know how it feels to lose a loved one. So going through that, and then finding my way like out, out of just being, like I wouldn't say just sad, but just dealing with a tough death, man. You feel me? So that really helped me as far as with my spiritual journey, and really just locking in and taking it serious, because I always value spirituality specifically, because I grew up in religion, grew up in Christianity and whatnot. But for me, even growing up in Christianity, I would look around and I just felt that it wasn't regarded as serious as it should be, and I felt like the people in the community as a whole, I felt like a lot of people didn't really take spirituality as serious as it should. So from that, you feel me? That always just made me kind of like be a seeker, you feel me, and just want to like figure out more, learn more, and things of that nature.
All right. Yeah, I understand. The spiritual journey ain't no joke, man. It's a lot of lonely nights, depression, um, rediscovery. Um, I mean, and that shadow work is very important. And I think, me personally, I think that that's where you really find your purpose is in that shadow work, because that's the time where you like. It's not that you're um trying to find yourself. You're trying to remind yourself who you are. And once you remind yourself who you are, and then the purpose come along, but it doesn't come along the way you think it do. The opportunities present itself. It be little things that be happening. You know what I'm saying? Like if you say,
Absolutely.
it be like you be like, I want this or I want that. I want to do this and do that, and then the opportunity comes up, and like the universe is listening to you. Like, yeah, I know. So okay, you said that. I got you. Watch this. Start putting pieces in the place and stuff, and you be like, damn. I can't believe that just happened that fast. Well, damn, I was just talking about this not. And so it happens like that. And I think that a lot of times people know what their purpose is because they just living on. They living like, how can I put it? They living like robots. Wake up, daily routine, go to work, go home. Same thing every Friday night. Go to a bar, drink, talk shit, go home. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are just like they're on a regiment. And
Right.
for people like us, like we're more self-aware of everything that we do. So our regiment is never the same. We don't really have a regiment per se. We have rituals, of course, but we
Mhm.
don't have regiments because a ritual can be different, but your regiment, it's a consistent thing that you're always doing, right? So,
Absolutely.
what do you think is the biggest fallacy about the difference between having your own purpose and having the purpose you're supposed to have?
Mm. When you say your own purpose, do you mean like could you elaborate just a little bit?
So, like we want to choose what we want to do in life, but sometimes what we choose is not what we're supposed to do.
Hmm.
So that's what I mean by that. Like when I say your own purpose versus the purpose you're supposed to have.
Okay. Which could you ask the question in
So what do you
entirety?
what do you think is the biggest fallacy about having your own purpose versus having the purpose you're supposed to have?
Okay. Well, I feel like that it's really when we think about our own purpose and whatnot, I feel like that more so come from our ego. It's more of an ego generated thing and something that just kind of comes from really like our ego and also just how we grow up, what we are subscribing to, the programs we have been subject to. It kind of develops from all of that. So and then with the purpose that we're just here for, that's like what you gotta dig deep for. That's what you really gotta like put in the work to truly figure out because um I mean, that's just what you got to do. Like, cause it's kind of like, I wouldn't say a hidden thing, but it's like something you got to find though. Like, it's not just something that's on the surface to where it's like, oh, here it is. Like, nah, you really got to put in the work and figure it out.
So do you think that people like to run away from what they supposed to do?
Yeah, I think we do all the time, man. Just because different things for different people, but I feel like we all deal with a level of like fear sometimes, definitely trauma, and those can be things that would like maybe just block you from tuning into like doing your true purpose and what you're actually here to do. And so yeah, man, it just be like fear and trauma, and then also it don't be easy navigating to your true purpose because it's like it's really a lot of work that you have to do, and you don't have to do it alone, but a lot of this work is self work. So it's like, yeah, you can have like community and camaraderie with the process, but it's still a self work process. So, well, although the community and camaraderie with that is definitely helpful and needed, you still it's self work. So it's you working on you. You feel me? Can't people can help you with it a little bit, but nobody's gonna help you with the self work more than you. You feel me? Because it's your work.
Hmm. So speaking of which, so do you think trauma? So you spoke on trauma. Do you think trauma is a big hindrance from our purpose, or you think that's a big motivation for our purpose?
I think it can be both because it just depends on the amount of trauma a person is dealing with, and how it's being manifested in a person's life. So yeah,
So was your purpose? So you believe that you found your purpose, right?
yes.
Was your purpose based out of trauma, or was it based out of something else?
I would definitely say based out of something else, but I had to like heal and navigate through the trauma to get to it because if I didn't do that, I wouldn't have made my way to it. So That's
So
just how
what?
I look at it.
So what made you get into the crystal stuff? Like, how did that come about?
Well, it's funny because like I always valued stones as a child, and you know that recently came back to my remembrance, and you know just memories of me like really collecting stones, being outside, being by like the creek. You feel me? You know, not necessarily the river, but water bodies and collecting cool stones that I liked. Just
You sound
naturally.
like you sound like Thanos. You out here collecting infinity stones. You said I'll collect the stones. Like you collecting infinity stones or something? Trying to snap
Hey,
something into existence.
hey, that's how it was for me as a kid. That's you know, because when you a kid, you just having fun, man, and you really like you just exploring. That's something I really enjoyed as a child. Really just going out and exploring, man. Because I grew up in Georgia. You feel me? So like we had a lot of woods. You feel me? Creeks and all that type of stuff. So I would love to just go out and explore, man. Really be outside and just enjoy nature that way. That was just something that came natural to me. So, but you know, doing that and then fast forward because as time went on, you know, we lose our like, you know, what the things we kind of love as a child and that child like innocence due to like the programming that we are subject to just from where we growing up, you know, what we learning in school and X, Y, Z. So all of that pretty much kind of I wouldn't say took me away from you know just valuing the stones and the crystals, but I just got into other different things like playing sports, stuff like that, and you know I began to value things like that. And so, but fast forward past all of that, it was probably like a few years ago, maybe like 3 or 4 years ago. I went on a trip to Maui in Hawaii, and I was in like a little gift shop grabbing a gift from my mom, and it was some crystal. The lady had some crystal bracelets in there, and you know that's when they kind of just jumped out to me because I was like, oh snap, you know, I was like, man, I might as well grab me a crystal bracelet because at this same time, like, you know, before I went on this trip, I became aware of, you know, just subtly of, you know, crystal energy and the value of crystals. So that's what, you know, made me, you know, want to grab some while I was there. Like, oh snap, here's some crystals. I might as well grab them here. And so that's what I ended up doing. And really from there, from me grabbing those crystals out there, it was just a never ending journey of like me always acquiring crystals, man. So, but and then with that, like you know, acquiring the crystals, I had to also acquire the knowledge to, you know, utilize the crystals properly. And that was, you know, just a part of this journey as well. So, and then also wanting to share, be able to share the energy and the knowledge associated with the crystals because it's like, okay, I've amassed, you know, X amount of crystals and you know I love them. You know I appreciate the energy that they're giving me, but it's like you know I have to share this. Like, I can't just hog this and just you know not you know share and tell others about it, and you know just make other people aware of the power of you know crystal energy.
Yeah, no, that's facts. So, cause I like crystals, of course. Like I've done some research on some of the crystals. I know, Billy Carson, and when he did Blueprint for God Power, the first one, he recommended these glass containers with crystal in it, and he said that you pour your water in it and it reconstructs the water for you. Then you speak into the water with the crystal in it, and then it manifests itself once you drink it. Like if you say, "Hey," like you got the crystals, hey, this is the crystal with the bottle in the water. You like, "Hey, I allow this water to be um a conduit for health, wealth, clear mind, spirit." So anything like that, and then you say I shay over it, and you drink it, and then you go about your business. I did that for a while. I haven't done that in a minute, but I gotta get back to doing that.
Real talk.
Yeah, but no, crystals are very powerful. I have a clear quartz crystal, I think, and then I got the obsidian black crystal.
Mm,
Cause those are the ones that stuck out to me the most, and those are the ones that attracted me to them.
mm.
So I like crystals. I ain't like a big crystal fanatic, but if I see a crystal and it stands out and it calls me, then yeah, I'm definitely gonna pick it up. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But aligning with the purpose. I think one of the most challenging things about aligning with the purpose is that sometimes we just don't know what it is, and we never really find out what our purpose is until the last minute. And what I mean by the last minute, we damn near about to die. It's a lot of people out here who don't know what their purpose is. Some people are just living a life with no direction, and they're not aligning with it because they're being distracted. A lot of different things can distract you from your purpose, right? And I think that's why it goes back to the self awareness. Like once you are aware of what you think, you're aware of what you say, and you're aware of how you feel, everything is quiet around you, right? And all you can do is hear yourself speaking, or you can hear the universe speaking to you, or some people, God, or your ancestors, somebody speaking to you when you cut out the distractions. And I think that is the perfect way to align with the purpose when you develop that self awareness. And I believe that could be the key to aligning with your purpose. But what do you think? You think it's something else, or you think that could be a key too?
Uh, and what would be the key? I'm sorry.
Self awareness.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's definitely a key to it. Just because I like when you mention distractions, because I feel like this this society we living in right now, we are faced with the most amount of distractions, because it's this whole worlds you can distract yourself with, and like be caught up in all day. You feel me? A day of distraction. So it's like just compared to like even like 20, 30 years ago, they didn't have like social media scrolling and just unlimited amount of things that you could like distract yourself with. But self-awareness is key. Yeah, for sure. I would definitely agree, just because it's like without self-awareness, that's a part of like knowing yourself, and how to conduct yourself, and just what you need as a person to stay focused and be able to just lock in on your purpose. Because really, uh, I feel like a big essential part of locking in on your purpose is going to be your self not self awareness, but your intention, utilizing intention, focus, and willpower. I believe that those are like superpowers that we born with. You feel me? Focus, intention, and willpower, because those things can be refined to manifest or create anything. So it's like gotta have that self awareness. That's
You
how
know,
you're
it's
gonna utilize them powers.
it's funny you mentioned two words. It's almost if like I don't know how, but you mentioned these two words, and I said this in one of my episodes previously about intention and focus,
Mm,
because the episode was about what purpose, and I said you have to be intentional about what your purpose is. You have to focus on that, and it's hard to focus, like you said earlier, distractions with social media and everything else is going on in the world, because we want to be with current events at the same time, but then we get so caught up in current events, we lose ourselves in the sauce, and now we're part of the whole circus, right? Instead of just like focus on what you need to do here while you're here. You know what I'm saying? Some
yeah.
people may believe in carnation. Some people believe like once I'm done, I'm done. I don't believe that. I believe that I'm tired of coming back here. Like hopefully this would be the last time, because I feel like if I didn't do this now, I would have to come back here and do this all over again, because I'm neglecting something that I was put here to do. And I think this is a message I want to give out to everybody. Like, don't neglect your purpose, whether you like it or not. It's something that you signed on to do, and you're basically your own challenge. You're challenging yourself to do this. Like the minute you don't want to do it, that's the challenge,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's not the challenge of the purpose. It's the challenge of you want to do it or not. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying?
Real talk.
And I think that sometimes, we, like you said about the ego, we let that ego get in the way. We want to choose our own purpose. Like some people feel like they want to be a singer. They feel like that's their purpose. Some people feel like they want to be a rapper or an actor or a civil rights movement person. I don't know what they call them,
Civil rights
what they call them
activists.
people, activists. There we go. Yeah, they want to be activists. I mean, that would be a good purpose, but if you're not good at it, you might want to find something else to do. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I just think that the key, also another key to finding or aligning with your purpose is you got to find yourself or remind yourself who you are. Because once you get that, then it's like, can't nobody really tell you nothing. You know what I'm saying? So how did you align with your purpose? Walk me through the steps of how it happened from where it started to how you got to where you are with your purpose.
Man, really just to piggyback on what I was saying earlier, with I started off with just going on my spiritual journey and my journey of learning more about myself and the human avatar and my environment, nature, and how all of these things correlate and just like flow together. And so really just from getting into that, so that was a big part of me, like knowing myself, you feel me, by learning myself, and not just like myself being my soul and spirit, but like learning the physical body, you feel me, and really learning about like how it works and how energy flows and moves, and electromagnetic field, and things, all of that, how we connected to nature and all of that learning that stuff really helped me get in tune with my purpose too, because that helped me get in tune with the core essence of myself. So that part of the journey, and just being dedicated to that, and continue to keep digging, and just being like dedicated, man, dedicated to like myself, and to like really just advancement as a collective, just because like one, I feel like something that's a part of everybody purpose is like making, in a way, like making the world a better place, or just a more conducive place for us to live in harmony, you feel me, with nature and with each other, and
Hmm.
resonating with the frequency of love, divine love and authenticity and gratitude, you feel me, cultivating that's a part of everybody purpose, you feel me, how I look at it. And so just from aligning with that and being dedicated to all of that, then of course, ain't nobody perfect, so you're not just gonna like do all of this perfectly, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna have your slip ups, setbacks, and all of that. So just from being on a journey and being dedicated, tenacious, and just always believing that I would figure my purpose out. You feel me? And just keeping my head up, like even though I didn't, fully know my purpose, it's like, okay, well, I know that I'm here for something, and I'm gonna figure it out. And really just uh, having that desire to want to figure it out, and the willpower to want to figure it out too. So from all of that, that took me to, well, then really too, like at that point when you dedicated and you put in the work, the universe, it's a it's a give and take scenario, because what you give, the universe is going to give too. You feel me? Just like how you were saying earlier, like when you do things, the universe will set certain things up, and allow things to come into your life. Certain things will leave your life, and
Hmm.
things like that. So it's like, as you doing the work, the universe is going to be working too in your favor. So at the same time too, you want to be mindful of this, and you want to be in tune with like stillness, silence, and meditation, because it's like if you're not meditating, then you're not going to be able to like be aware when the universe is really just moving things in your favor, and trying to set you up for plays, and opportunities, and just different things that they got for you, or that the universe has for you. So just doing them two things, and then shoot, that's pretty much it. Because it's like, once you're doing them two things, you gotta be patient. You know what I'm saying? Gotta be patient, because it ain't gonna come overnight. You got to do the work, but it's still not gonna come overnight. So really, being patient is a big part of this journey as well.
No, that's facts. That's key. That patience is definitely key. You can't expect things to happen when you want them to. You got to expect things to happen in divine time. And it's like you was speaking about the universe setting up things for you, and putting things in places and working. I always believe that God doesn't give us anything, but He gives us opportunities, and the opportunities may be whatever it is you're asking for. Say you want to make some more money, you get the opportunity to make some more money. Say you want to be closer to your family, He gives you the opportunity to be closer to your family. So all of these things that you're asking for, you're getting opportunities for. Now, the only thing that's up to you is if the choice you make to take on that opportunity or let it pass you by. You know what I'm saying? And I think that that's another thing with the alignment too. Like sometimes we could ask for certain things, and then when it come, and then we just pass it on. So now we're back at square one. But it's almost like, I would say, like the universe is like a wishing well, right?
Yeah.
You can ask and ask and ask. You get infinity wishes, but you don't get the wishes right away. You get the opportunity of the wishes that you're asking for. So
Hmm.
even if you miss that opportunity, you be like, okay, I missed this one. Okay, universe, can you please send me another one? I won't pass this one up. And then a week or two later, the opportunity come up. So now you back to the choice. Like, what you gonna do? You gonna take up this opportunity, or not? And
Right.
the universe is funny, because sometimes he'll give you what you want, or it'll give you what you want, and then you be like, I don't think this is what I want. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And you be like, damn, because it's saying like, well, you can see if this is what you want to do. Like, we're never denied anything unless the universe knows that something's not good for us. And sometimes we ignore those signs. It could be a person, it could be a place, it could be a job, it could be anything. And sometimes some things will be set in place for us not to do it. And yet we're still trying to go against the grain and resist it, and still keep trying to do it anyway. And then we finally do it, and then it backfire, and it's like, why did this happen? But there was so much resistance for you not to do it, but you kept resisting against the resistance. So now look what happened to you. Now you are in the era of your experience.
Hmm.
So, but I think that um we have to go through a lot of trials and tribulations to find our purpose too. I think we do have to try as many things as we can until we figure out what it is we are supposed to do. Some people know off rip, you know what I'm saying? Like Minister Louis Farrakhan knew that he was supposed to be who he is. He knew at a young age. And look at him now. He's like one of the well-renowned leaders of our time. You know what I'm saying? And it's
Hmm.
like some people just know that they supposed to do it, and some people have to wait until they like 50, 60, 30, 40. So I just think that we have to be patient and know that our purpose is going to present itself to us. But we got to keep an eye open and our mouth closed. And I think sometimes we talk too much and we can talk ourselves out of aligning with our purpose. And
Fact.
sometimes we can ignore our purpose because that's not something we want to do. Like, say, like your purpose is to be a singer, right? Like that's your purpose. But you real good with them instruments. You can play the hell out of the piano. But you like, man, I don't want to learn this shit. But you got the talent for it. But you said, no, my passion is for the singing. But your purpose is for making the instruments, because how you play the instruments you put people in a good mood. How you play the instruments, you healing people with trauma. How you
Hmm.
play them instruments, you're setting a whole new high frequency for everything in that vicinity. You know what I'm saying? And I just think that sometimes we really fight against what our purpose is. Have you ever fought against what your purpose was, or you kind of just like roll with it?
Um, I feel like, man, maybe a little bit, just because it's like, sometimes you don't be sometimes you might feel like you're not all the way ready. You feel me? Or you again, like I was talking about the fear earlier. Like you might have some residue of fear in your aura, which is bad. You feel me? You don't want that because it's like that's taking down, the amplitude of your energy, your aura, anyways. You feel me? So that's like, and you don't want that either. So, yeah, I definitely say that. It was times where I could say that, I might have been, just resisting, maybe not just completely fighting, but resisting. And then would be them times where it's like you gotta learn, man. Like I had to learn. You feel me? It's like it's certain things you gotta like. Man, you gotta give. You gotta make sacrifice. Certain things you gotta give up. You feel me? And certain things you gotta really like make that shift. You feel me? So that you really can embody and align with your purpose. And like even this go back to energetically with your aura. Like if you doing certain things that's out of alignment, this is going to, take down the amplitude of your auric field, which will, it's almost going to like suppress them opportunities or just your magnetism. You feel me? Just because it's like you ain't in alignment. You're not doing what you're supposed to be in alignment. So you're opposing the alignment. You feel me? So that's taking down your magnetism.
You it's like you read my mind or something. I don't know. Maybe you was watching some of my episodes or something, but um, what was I about to say? It'll come back to me because I had it in my head because I was thinking about it as you were saying it. But no, but facts though. I think sometimes we do um run away from our purpose, or it could be a challenge trying to you know walk the path of the purpose. And sometimes it could be easy. Like some people, I know there's one guy, he knew what his purpose was. He flaunts it, and you can kind of tell, like, or somebody know what they here for, they do that shit. Like
Yeah,
they love it. They love it too. They
yeah,
have a passion for it. They like, man, I know
yeah.
this is what I'm supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? King
Mhm.
Simon is another person who he knew what his purpose is, and he loves it. Like that
Yeah,
numerology, oh, he loves it.
absolutely. You
Like
prolific.
man, he loves it, and he has so much passion and so much emotion behind it, and it's like you can just tell a person's purpose fits their frequency. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And it's like that's his frequency and it's fitting his purpose. Like that's what he's supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Like even motivational speakers, you can just like sit there and listen to people for hours and hours because it's just something about that frequency or that energy that they got is like you like mesmerized by it, you hypnotized by their words, but you also hypnotized by that energy that they give them with them words. So
Right.
it's like you have like a whole bunch of like who's a good motivational speaker for me? Neville Goddard,
Yeah, he's fire. One of the greatest for sure.
because he talks about how you live as if you want things to exist. Like you have to live as if it already happened.
Hmm.
And I think in a way that can kind of align with the purpose because like you let's say for instance like what if your purpose is to teach people how to make $1 million or teach people how to make money period, right? You have to live as if that's what you're already doing. So you would just start teaching people like your friends, like, oh yeah, this is how you make some money. So get your phone, download this, do that, get a Discord, download this, do that. I'm gonna show you how to do this and do that. But you're so focused in on it, and then all of a sudden things will start manifesting itself. So now you're living as if you're already doing it. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that's what a lot of people do miss in life, is that they don't live as if they already have it. You have to live in your purpose as if you already walking it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, now this is going that's not gonna go off subject. It still plays a part, but I think other people can hinder your purpose. And
Absolutely.
I think that's something that's not talked about enough, because sometimes we make excuses for people we don't need to be making excuses for. And with your purpose is being hindered, it's like you missing out on life. It's like you missing out on something you're supposed to do. You ever had that feeling like you're supposed to be doing something more,
Absolutely.
and then somebody in your ear like, no, you doing enough, so you think you're doing enough, so you just stay stagnant. You know what I'm saying? I
Mm-hmm.
think that sometimes, and you said this earlier, sometimes you gotta cut people out. You gotta let people go, and you gotta invite new people in that can help you get closer to what your purpose is and your passion too. I mean, and that's not, let me not get this wrong or get it twisted. You can still have a passion and a purpose at the same time. Sometimes they can align and sometimes they won't, but you can still have a purpose and a passion at the same time. Your
Mm-hmm.
passion could be music, like I was telling, like I made the example earlier. You wanna sing, that's your passion, but your purpose is still playing that piano. So
Mm-hmm.
you're singing, but it's the piano that's really swaying the people in and making them feel good about themselves. But have you ever had a person try to hinder you from your purpose, or anybody or anything?
Uh, Man, yeah, I have to say definitely. And as far as with just people, I feel like it would more so be like people would just be out of alignment with what you got to do. So it's like at that point, you just get to you're supposed to realize to where it's like, okay, eventually you would just see it because you would see the signs to where it's like, okay, man, these people, these individuals, they might not, they're not really in alignment, and they're not, in alignment with what I got going on, and they're not the most conducive individuals for what I'm trying to manifest or what I'm trying to attract or anything of that nature. So there's that, and then when you said thing, man, the first thing that came to mind was really, the cannabis, man, the weed. You feel me? Like just from smoking, like I felt like, and I don't, I got love for the plant. You feel me? Salute to the plant. But at the same time, I had to realize that it's a medicine. You feel me? It's a real deal medicine for people that need healing or that have real ailments and sickness going on. Because, like, in real time, it's people that utilize the cannabis plant for the healing of their body because they are in so much physical pain that they cannot live a regular life because of their physical pain. So they use the cannabis plant to heal and help them with the physical pain so they can live a normal life. But in our culture, especially how I grew up, you feel me, like a lot of people in my generation, they abuse, we abuse the cannabis plant, and nobody really using it for its true purpose, man. Because I'll be the first one to say I was abusing it, man. It was one point, you feel me, I'm rolling up like 3-4 backwoods a day, man, and it's like that's abuse. You feel me? You're doing more harm to yourself than you're doing healing or just even like sacrament work, because the cannabis plant is a medicine. It's also a sacrament used for ritual practice. You feel me? Just like any other natural substances that are used for sacrament that our ancestors used. So it's like, if you're not in alignment with using it as a healing herb, a medicine, or a sacrament, then 9 times out of 10 you might be abusing it. You feel me? And like that's not a good thing, because that'll take you, out of alignment with your purpose. Just because for me, I did a video about how cannabis basically like how I stopped smoking, and it helped me feel lighter. And I was explaining that, I felt lighter because I felt more in tune with my soul and spirit energy, and more able to actually express this soul and spirit energy, with gratitude and, wholeheartedly, man. Because it's like when I would smoke, you feel me, it would have me like nonchalant, it would have me just kind of like on some chill, some chill vibes. But it's like you can't be chilling all the time, man. Like you got to be active. You feel me? You gotta have that fire, man. You feel me? For real. Like that go back to the willpower. The energy of fire is very important. We all got that fire energy within us, so you can't be sparking up and letting that steal your internal flame. You feel me? And I felt like that's what was going on in my life, in my experience. And I know that everybody, different things work differently for different people, but that's just what was going on in my life. You feel me? And with my experience with the cannabis plant, and why I had to pretty much leave it alone, man, for real, for real. So yeah, that's all I say, for that question.
Mm. So you think we like can slow people down? I mean, I don't smoke like that. I used to smoke, but I wasn't like a person that rolled weed. Like I never rolled a blunt in my life.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I just it just I never spent money on. Wait, I
Yeah,
had to think about it. I had to think about it. I had
you
to
put
think about
five
it.
on it,
I had
man.
to think about it. But I have, but it was pre rolls. Like I never bought a nickel bag or a dime bag, none of that. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? No pound, none of that shit.
Hmm.
But I would buy pre rolls and stuff like that. And I think I only bought maybe three in my whole life
Wow.
because I don't smoke like that. But I love cigars though. I had a newfound love for cigars the past couple of years though.
Hmm.
But so, and speaking of which, shout out to Rich for my
Yeah,
cigar. I still got one left.
that's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Yeah,
How are those, man? I've been hearing a lot about them, man. I've been looking forward to getting one too.
you gotta get one. It's I think the best way to get the experience out of that is to be alone and just sit inside. It's like a meditation, if you will. Well, I don't know if you have like sage or Palo Santo or anything like that, but think of it like that. When you like, if you just want to like want to be in a calm mood, like you just sit back, you listen to some jazz or listen to whatever, and just sit back and smoke it, and then it's like you'll be somewhere else. You're there, but you're somewhere else,
Hmm.
and it's like you out of reality. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Almost like the experience of that stuff from Brazil. What they call that? Asha, not Asha.
Ayahuasca.
Yeah, it's similar to it, but it's not quite. Like you don't be going on like no trip or no shit like that. But you just it's like you're there, but you're not there. But that's when you can really tap into your God self, and you can just tap into like the energy that you're looking for.
That's fire.
So yeah, but they good though. I smoked one. I had ruined it. I was so mad because it got wet, and once the cigar get wet, that's it.
Yes, it
So
does.
so I got this one left. So I'm trying to say this for this weekend because I'm definitely smoking it this weekend.
I hear that.
But so my podcast is about helping men help themselves. And the month of June, I got about I think 5 or 6 guests on here. I had Brother Rich, I had King Simon, Black Dot, Q Reeves, my brother Aramis, and my brother David for Men's Mental Health Awareness Month because it was a lot of things that was going on in the world as far as black men in the community or melanated men in the community where we're falling out of touch with our masculine energy. Um, which led me to doing this podcast was that there was a story that happened. This is like it wasn't earlier this year. I think it was the end of last year. So here in the city, Detroit, this I guess this guy was dating this girl and she didn't want to be with him no more. So he ended up taking her life. And it makes me think because I remember when I heard that story, I remember being thinking to myself, I used to be in that position because I went through a bad breakup. And it's like one of those things to where you become a dependent on somebody because you've been with them for so long. And then when they don't want you no more, you don't know how to grasp that reality. So you start doing a bunch of crazy shit. And when he did what he did, I saw myself in him. Like, damn, I could have made that same decision. I could have been in his situation. So it was at that moment when I knew that it was time for me to do this because this is really what my purpose is. My purpose is to help people help themselves. I have a healing number according to King Simon. And I've always knew that, but it was just something like, and I remember I was telling you earlier, sometimes we run away from our purpose. And like the more you run away from it, the more it's gonna keep attacking you until you do it. You know what I'm saying? And so when I heard the story, I was like, I think it's time. It's time for me to go ahead and do what I got to do. Cause I already got King Simon already told me. I talked to Rich about it. He told me I need to do it. But the real spark was that story. And I'm like, men out here, we have a tough battle. We have a silent battle, and nobody knows about it. And sometimes nobody really cares about it.
Real talk.
And sometimes we fight these battles alone, and it could lead to suicide or homicide. And I feel that us as black men, we are the most disrespected, respected, hated, and loved people on this planet all at the same time. And people want to kill us more than they want to love us, and people want to love us more than they want to kill us. And we're in a war with those who hate us, and we're in a war who want to be us, and we're at a war with ourselves. And I might not be able to change the whole world, but if I could change one person's life, at least I know I completed a mission. You know what I'm saying? And I know this is my purpose, and I'm starting to create a passion for it because, like, when I first started doing this, like, I was just like so excited. I couldn't wait to get the next guest on. I couldn't wait to talk about the next topic because I just kind of felt like this is a start for something huge. I don't know where this may take me. I might start talking to hundreds of thousands of people. I might not. Who knows? No, my platform might get bigger. It may stay the same. But as long as I can get the people's ear to listen, and hopefully they can help themselves and change their ways to be, better men, better fathers, better brothers, better sons, better friends, peers, whatever the case may be. I think that's the most important thing. And how I align with my purpose, I stay focused. I it's like I have on blinders, right? I don't look what's going on over there, and I don't look what's going on over there. I focus on what my purpose is. Sometimes distractions can come, obstacles will show up, but when you're consistent and you're persistent in your purpose, nothing can stop you. And my highest choice is that I can help a lot more men that need this so they can not only be better men, but they can find their purpose within their own healing. And that's why I made this show. And when I scroll on Instagram or if I go on YouTube and I listen to black men, I hear what they say, my spirit tells me to ask this person to talk about something because something that they said resonates with me that could be sending a message to the men out there. Now, this message can be universal. It could be for any and everybody, but my target audience is black men because I feel like they need the help the most. because we have the highest suicide rate in America. It's quiet as it kept. Nobody knows this. And a lot of it comes from not being loved the way we think we should be loved, or everybody's against us. You know what I'm saying? That's how a lot of us feel, because I felt that way. And even in this Facebook group, it's called Black Men's Mental Health. And we was on a Zoom call, about 70 of us on there. And I was just listening to the different men on there speak. And some of them were relationship problems, some of them were just life problems. They just felt like they're not respected enough, or they feel like they're not wanted by nobody
Mm,
because of, you know, what they do or how they look more so. It's always about how they look. And I don't ever understand that. Like, but I get it, but I don't get it. But I always feel like you should still respect people or treat people how you want to be treated. You know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
But just listen to all those different men speak. Not all 70 of them spoke, because I didn't say nothing. I was just sitting there listening on the call. But just the like the 8 or 9 people that were speaking, they were really going through it. Some of them broke down crying, and
Wow.
and it just makes me think like it's so much work that needs to be done out here that nobody's speaking about, and we're all fighting a silent battle. While we might be all happy and like nothing don't bother us, but stuff do bother us, and we want to tell somebody, but we don't think nobody really gonna care. And I just think that I think that trying to find your purpose could distract that, but I still think you need to address that and you need to find healing in it. And I think that's why brotherhood is important. And I spoke about that. Like, find some people who are respectable, righteous, you know, and yeah, respectable and righteous and resourceful. I think those are 3 R's. Can't remember the 3 R's I came up with, but yeah, you want to find those type of men who are responsible,
Mm,
righteous, responsible, and respectable.
that's real talk.
Because if you have those men holding you responsible for your actions and what you do or say, it help you be a better man. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think we have a lot of that. And I try my best to create those type of things. Even if I don't start a brotherhood, maybe somebody can take this information and start their own brotherhood. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? And I just think that it's important that you have to find a tribe too to help you align with your purpose. Sometimes we might need some people to help us with that. And maybe like there's polarity, right? There's
mm-hmm.
always the opposite to everything. Sometimes people can hinder you from it. Some people can help you get to it. And you have to find your tribe. You have to find people who are on the same frequency as you. And you have to be able to do whatever it takes to be the best version of yourself. And it could be a lonely journey. People may not understand you. They might not want to be around you. And that's okay. It might not be okay for the first couple of months, because it wasn't okay for me, you know. But well, you gotta love yourself. I think that's something we missed out on, is loving yourself.
Absolutely, man, for sure.
Because you don't love yourself, ain't nobody gonna love you.
Mm-hmm.
And then when nobody don't love you, still love yourself.
Absolutely.
So in closing, before we get out of here, my last question to you, or actually not a question. Oh, actually it is a question. What advice would you give to the people out there listening about how to align with their purpose?
Mm, uh, man, I'm gonna really just say, we kind of hit everything on the head throughout the whole show. So I would say, I just want to echo everything that was said as far as with going through purification of your aura, your mind, your heart, um, soul and spirit, your physical body, um, and then really just also going through meditation and stillness so you can listen and receive information from the universe. I want to say self refinement. That's important. That's kind of like the purification as well, though. And then what else? Um, like you just said, you gotta love yourself. That's number one, because you loving yourself is going to help with everything you doing in life, no matter what it is. So I feel like that's number one, and also knowing yourself as well. Everybody's heard "know thyself," but you really gotta like take that seriously and take that as far as you can. You feel me? Because that's important. Knowing yourself, loving yourself, um, and learning more about yourself as well. I mean that go with knowing yourself too. But that's really all I would say. And yeah, that's pretty much all I would say.
Cool. Well, this was another episode of Miracle Mindset for Men. I want to thank my guest, a shock, right? Am I saying it right?
I
A shock.
chalk, I chalk.
I chalk.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get it right. I'm gonna get it right, brother. I'm gonna get it right. But I want to say again, once again, thank you for joining me on my podcast. Thank you for the insight, information you had. I'm grateful to you. I'm grateful for your presence. I'm grateful for the energy. Hopefully we'll do this again soon. Before we get out of here, do you want to leave the people with any contact information, how they can reach you, your website, stuff like
yeah,
that?
yeah. So on Instagram, you can find me at 9SilkVibrations, like how it's spelled down there. And then on TikTok, it is 9SilkVibrations 369. So you'll find me there on TikTok. And that's pretty much it. As far as my website, the name is in the link in my Instagram bio. So just go to my Instagram, and the link is in the bio for the website. And yeah, that's pretty much where you're gonna find me the most, Instagram and TikTok. And yeah, I'm out there. You feel me? Really, anybody you want to tap in for anything. You feel me? I do custom work when it comes to the necklaces, the hats. I love to do custom things because I get to make something personal for you, because it's like you can buy something that I've already made and that'll be great, but it's nothing like getting something customly made for you with everything that you're asking for. Because when it comes to a custom, it's like, I like to ask like, what type of energy you trying to work with? What's the color energy you feel like you need? What are you trying to manifest? I like to go deep so that basically I can figure out everything that you need for whatever you're seeking. So it's like it's gonna be the best thing for you, as opposed to just picking something. Because sometimes certain products will just call you, and that'll be what's for you. But it's nothing like collaborating and having your custom touch on something, because it's a collaboration when I do a custom with somebody, and I love that. I really value those personal experiences, man, because like that's why I really do this, man. It's like about helping individuals and of course everybody collectively, but the more personal I can be with this and I can actually talk to you, figure out what you're looking for and all that, I love that, man. Just cause like I don't know, I love it. You feel me? I love to just help others out. This is why I do what I do. And yeah, I'm grateful to be doing this, man. I'm grateful to be here on the Brothers Show, man. It's been a wonderful time. I really enjoyed it, and I thank you for having me on here, brother.
All right, man. I appreciate y'all. So until next time, everybody, peace, love, light, and all that other stuff. But all right, y'all take it easy.
Peace, family. One love.